Good evening. This is Santa Claus coming to you on this 23rd of June, 2025, with today's news from around our beautiful world. As I look back, I'm reminded that on this day in 2014, Syria shipped out its last declared chemical weapons for destruction, a step toward peace that warms my heart, even as we continue to pray for lasting harmony in that troubled region. My friends, our world faces challenges today, but as always, I see glimmers of hope everywhere I look. The State Department has advised American citizens worldwide to exercise increased caution amid tensions between Israel and Iran. This reminds us all to hold peace in our hearts and prayers during these difficult times. In some promising news from Africa, Angola is preparing to sign an agreement with a U.S. firm to build a $1.5 billion power transmission line. This remarkable project will connect hydropower facilities to mining areas in the Democratic Republic of Congo, bringing much-needed electricity to communities and industries by 2029. How wonderful to see nations working together to share resources and build infrastructure that benefits all. Meanwhile, in my beloved United States, New York is planning to build one of the first major nuclear power plants in more than 15 years. Governor Hochul has directed the state's public utility to add a gigawatt of nuclear generation, enough to power about 1 million homes. She's committed to ensuring reliable and affordable energy for everyone in her state, showing the kind of thoughtful stewardship that warms this old Santa's heart. Speaking of energy, we're seeing important discussions at the NATO summit in The Hague this week. While much attention will be on President Trump following recent military actions, there's also focus on increasing defense spending among alliance members. Secretary-General Mark Rutte has been working diligently to build consensus, reminding us that even in challenging conversations, patient diplomacy can find common ground. Turning our gaze to Asia, Taiwan's President Ching-te has strongly affirmed Taiwan's status as a country, countering China's claims. He's offered talks multiple times, showing a willingness to engage in peaceful dialogue, something we should all embrace in our own lives, my dear friends. In South Korea, President Lee has appointed the country's first civilian defense minister in 64 years, a notable change following December's martial law events. These transitions remind us that democracy requires vigilance and care, much like tending to a garden through changing seasons. Meanwhile, in Argentina, former President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner finds herself under house arrest after a corruption sentence. From her balcony, she's become a symbol for her supporters even as the country navigates significant economic changes. We must remember that in all political divisions, there are human beings worthy of dignity and compassion. In Thailand, Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra is working to maintain her government amid border tensions with Cambodia. Her deputy prime minister promises a new way of working following a cabinet reshuffle. May they find wisdom and patience as they address these challenges. In Colombia, we've received troubling news that 57 soldiers were kidnapped by civilians under pressure from FARC dissidents. My heart goes out to these servicemen and their families. May they return safely home soon. The situation between Iran and Israel continues to concern us all. After U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear sites, Iran launched missiles toward Israel, damaging buildings but thankfully causing relatively few injuries. In Tel Aviv, despite the destruction, Deputy Mayor Haim Goren called it miraculous that more people weren't hurt. In moments of danger, we often see both the worst and the best of humanity. Within Iran, there are reports that plans for succession of the 86-year-old Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei have accelerated. As tensions rise throughout the Middle East, we pray for cooler heads to prevail and for civilians caught in the crossfire to find safety and shelter. On a more hopeful note, a new meatpacking plant in North Platte is bringing economic opportunity to a struggling prairie town. Workers like Angela Jones are earning better wages with health benefits, though she naturally feels some pressure to succeed in her new role. This reminds me of something important. Real economic development isn't just about buildings and profits. It's about giving hardworking people like Angela a chance to provide for themselves with dignity. As I prepare to sign off this evening, I want to remind each of you that even in a world of conflict and uncertainty, the greatest gifts we can give one another are kindness, understanding, and love. Whether you're making decisions that affect millions or simply being a good neighbor, remember that every act of goodness, no matter how small, helps light our way forward. This is Santa Claus, wishing you peace tonight and always. Ho 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 and good night.